just some movies for you. And take some calls from a guest or two. So forget everything that you knew about the people in the movies, cause she has no clue. Kristy doesn't know movies. No, Kristy doesn't know movies. Kristy doesn't know movies.
Hey! Welcome to a big dick episode of Kristy Doesn't Know Movies. How are you doing?
Okay, well, first of all, that was the wrong way to describe the episode.
What? You got a problem with that?
I do. Maybe it's the
Sexist.
fact that I've been up for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, well, I had
but...
a 3.5 hour nap, so don't give me none of that guff,
Okay.
Buster.
Okay.
Are you ready for some movies?
Okay.
What do you, Kristy, think 1986's Big Trouble in Little China is about?
The fuck? Okay.
Big Trouble
This...
in Little
Yeah.
China.
Yeah. Okay. Obviously Jackie Chan's in it.
Okay.
Because back then they didn't even really care if he's from China. They're like, it's an Asian movie. Let's put Jackie Chan in it.
Right.
And then, who is it? Like fucking Eddie Murphy or whatever? Is this their buddy cop movie?
I think you're thinking of Rush Hour.
They're the same movie. So, wait. Okay, no. This one it didn't have Eddie Murphy then. Because whatever movie you just said, which I wasn't listening, that one is like basically a knockoff of this movie. This is the first movie.
So who's in this one? Besides
This one's
Jackie Chan.
Jackie Chan and not Will Smith.
Okay.
That's for sure. But Morgan Freeman.
So Jackie Chan and Morgan Freeman. Go ahead.
Yeah. And okay, so it's in takes place in New York City, Chinatown.
Uh-huh.
And there's probably like Italian gangsters who are like coming in there and like fucking shit up because like they want to own the rights to Chinatown. Like they want to own it as like part of their domain, as part of their like their turf, right?
Right.
And they're like,
Uh-huh.
hey, you guys, get out of here. This is ours now. And so it's a big fight between the Italian mob and then Jackie Chan and Morgan Freeman, who are they're not actually cops. They're like private investigators, and some old lady probably hires them to be like, oh, like look into. I mean, they came in and they specifically told us they were the Italian mob, but at the same time, like, look into this for me. And they're like, all right, lady, we'll see what we can do. And then so it's an action comedy with heart.
Uh-huh.
And they go around and they try to like basically just help out this poor old lady who just wanted her like restaurant not to be robbed. Yeah.
Okay.
In the end they do, and then they become really good friends in the process. They were like, no, they weren't private investigators together. They were like rival private investigators, and then so like various people hired them to like sort shit out, and then they ended up like meeting up, and they had to work together in order to like take down the mob. And so that's how they become friends.
This summer, Jackie Chan and Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
It just doesn't sound right to me.
I know it's not Morgan Freeman, but I can't think of who else would be in it.
All right, moving right along. What do you, Kristy, think 1988's Bloodsport is about?
I'm going to assume it has Jean-Claude Van Damme in it because you were
Wow.
on me the other day about how I'd never put him in movies and like he's been
Right.
in a lot of movies. So I feel like out of spite you picked a movie with him in it.
You would be correct.
Shit. Yes. See? You shouldn't foreshadow your shit like that. Okay, so he's in it. Um he plays the protagonist.
Uh-huh.
He's probably a bodybuilder slash mercenary.
Right.
He
As they
gets
typically are.
yeah, he he gets tasked to go um on like a quest, on a journey, on an adventure because something's happened to someone he loves. Probably like it turns out he's actually got like a family and he's a very loving father. And
Okay.
then something happens to like his daughter. Like she gets I want to say she gets kidnapped, but like keep in mind this isn't Taken. I'm probably gonna start describing Taken by accident, but it's it's not. This one has Jean-Claude Van Damme in it. It's not Liam Neeson. Okay, it's not
Right.
quite Taken, but like it hints on themes of Taken. All right, so his daughter's taken, and he needs to go get her. And and she was kidnapped by fuck. What's the name of that guy? He was in like the 80s Punisher.
Dolph Lundgren.
Yes, Dolph Lundgren is the antagonist in this movie.
All right.
He is a rival bodybuilder who and not a mercenary, but like some evil crime lord head.
Okay.
So he's stolen Jean-Claude Van Damme. That's so fucking hard for me to say. Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Just say Van Damme.
He's Van Damme it. He's stolen his kid, and so Dolph Lundgren is holding her for ransom, and he's probably gonna like try to marry her or something. She's grown. She's not a kid. She's like
Okay.
20, and yeah, Van Damme for some reason has a 20-year-old daughter. I don't know if he was old enough to have a 20-year-old daughter in this, but they aged him up. Um,
Right.
so yeah. So Dolph Lundgren's taking his kid and he's gonna marry her, and so he has to like find out what like country he's taking her to, and there's like bodyguards like the whole way. It's just like all these bodyguards who are also bodybuilders. A young John Cena was probably in this, and like so he has to like fight all these people, but like even though they're bodybuilders, like he uses a lot of guns for somebody with that many muscles. I feel like if you're really good with guns, you really don't need to train for close combat. Like
Fair enough.
unless like he's just ripped so that he can carry his numerous guns and bullets around with him. But I also feel like he just doesn't need to be that buff. He should be like lanky and agile is what a is what a gunman should be if they're
So
like he's an
start eating
action.
Twinkies. Start eating Twinkies for breakfast. You don't need to. You don't need to drink those eggs, those raw eggs, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Well, no, the thing is like you can't just get fat. Like he's still got to be agile. He's still got to be able to like leap over barricades and like scale a wall if he needs to. But he needs to be able to do so with like precision. And I feel like muscles would get in his way. And like there's no reason. Like there might be one scene where he actually like fist fights someone,
Uh,
but like at the same time his guns were probably in reach, and it was like this could have been over substantially faster.
do you remember the title of the movie?
Blood sport.
What does that tell you?
There's a lot of blood. He kills a lot of people.
What's the other word?
Sport.
What does that tell you?
He's a bodybuilder.
All right. Our final movie of the episode. What do you, Kristy, think 1994's Timecop is about?
All right. 1984?
1994.
94. Okay, so I was kicking when this movie came out. This movie stars a young... You probably put Jean-Claude Van Damme in there again. A, because I can't say his name, and B, because you said that, like, I don't include him enough. So he's in this again. So,
Do you want to know?
if he's in it,
Yeah,
sure.
he is in it.
Yes! Oh, are these
Wow,
all...
I'm impressed.
Are these all Van
I'm
Damme
genuinely
movies?
impressed that you guessed that.
I'm really good at determining your spite moves lately, so... Alright, so... Van Damme, he's back at it, rolling off the success of Bloodsport. He plays a robot man who can travel through time in order to solve and prevent crimes. Because here's the thing, like, cops show up after a crime and then they deal with the aftermath. So if he's a time cop, he has the ability to, like, go back and stop it, but I feel like he also kind of shows up and solves things after they've happened, which doesn't make sense because he could just go back to before it happened and stop it. Maybe he realizes that that is the glitch in the time cop method, so he starts going back in time before a crime happens so he can just stop it, and then, like, someone at the bureau is like, nah, time cop, you can't just do that, that's not what we're all about. And he's like, but it's a better way, and they're like, nope. So then he has to fight them, and he has to go against, like, the bureau and that, and then he, like, ends up going to the future to try to hide from them, and then he sees that, like, actually he is just a man and he had a family, and he's, like, trying to protect his family now from the bureau because they're like, you can't see this, you can't see your future, and this future is not going to happen anymore anyways because we're trying to kill you, and we will kill you because we have control of time and space. And so he's just like, well, maybe this can still be my future if I, like, kill all of you. So then he murders a lot, like a lot. There's more blood than Bloodsport. There is less sport than Bloodsport. He shoots everyone. He's older now. He's like, that's like 5-ish at least years have passed. So, like, he's not as buff as he was in Bloodsport. So he's got, like, a bit of lankiness to him so that he can comfortably and agilely shoot guns at people, but there is also a bit of hand-to-hand combat in this movie.
Can I ask a question?
What?
How is he traveling through time? Like, what is he using?
It's either, I want to say, a watch or a car. It's gonna be either.
What are you basing that on?
Well, it's either going to be something, like, inconspicuous, like a watch. Like, you just press a button on your watch, and, like, that makes sense, right? Because watch, time, ha ha ha. But
Right.
I feel like it could also be, like, a button he hits in a car console. But I feel like the car would be, like, too weird because, like, what era does this car look like it's from? What if he has to go stop a crime back in, like, 1772? Like, that seems odd to show up with a car. So I feel like a watch might be a better deal there. But also, watches. What if he has to, like, stop a crime in the year 10? Like, at what point, like, what device could he have? Also, I feel like,
It could be a hat. It could be like a pilgrim hat with a buckle on it.
Yeah, but hat styles change too, man.
What if it was like false teeth?
Maybe, but like, what are the false teeth like? Are they wood? Because back years ago, like some real nice pearly whites would have looked weird. They would have burned them for being a witch, and rightfully so. Yeah, I feel like the movie has a lot of like kind of continuity errors, like just issues with the story, like plot holes everywhere. Any time traveling movie has plot holes. That's why Endgame fucking blew.
Okay.
But yeah, like there's got to be some like he's a robot, so like that's weird to send back to the past. B
Right.
he acquires a family eventually, which there's a lot of questions about that just go unanswered. Um, I bet you he like shows up in whatever era and he's like wildly out of place every time. And like nobody really questions it. Even the writers tried to do a joke like, yeah, he's showing up like dressed out of era. But in reality it's just shit. It's not one of his best. Definitely not as good as Bloodsport.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening, folks.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Ew.